take a deep breath, in through your nose, and slowly let it go. Now, just notice the air moving through you, the gentle rise of your chest, the quiet rhythm that has been with you since the very first moment of your life. Before words, before thoughts, there was breath. And somewhere along the way, in all the noise, the rushing, the striving, you might have forgotten how to truly breathe. Welcome to Breath Journey. This is a space to come home to yourself, to remember the language your body has always spoken. Here, every inhale is a beginning, every exhale a return. We'll breathe together, slowly, deeply, consciously. We'll listen to the science, to the stillness, and to the quiet wisdom of our own bodies. Because the breath isn't just air, it's a bridge between your mind and your cells, your past and your future, your pain and your peace. So take one more slow breath, and let's begin this journey together, back to the place where healing truly begins. For decades, we were told that our genes decide our fate, that our DNA is a fixed script, unchangeable, written in stone. If your parents had heart disease, you might have it too. If your mother carried anxiety, maybe you will carry it as well. But modern science has found something extraordinary. Our genes are not our destiny. They're more like a symphony score, and the way you live, the way you breathe, is the conductor deciding how the music plays. Inside each of us, more than 20,000 genes wait in silence. They're not all active at once. Some are asleep, some whisper softly, and some burst into life when you change the way you live. Think of it like light switches in a vast house. Your breath, your thoughts, your food, your sleep, each one flips certain switches on or off. And here's the wonder. It only takes a moment of awareness, one mindful breath, to begin rewriting the story inside your cells. The body is not a machine. It's a living conversation, a dialogue between your biology and your mind. Every emotion you feel, every thought you repeat, becomes a chemical, and those chemicals talk directly to your DNA. When you're under stress, when you breathe fast and shallow, your body hears a signal of danger. It switches on survival genes, inflammation, high blood pressure, anxiety. But when you slow down, when your breath becomes deep, long, and gentle, a different signal is sent, one of safety, trust, and healing. Your heart slows, your blood pressure eases, and a cascade of healing genes quietly awaken. For centuries, ancient traditions have known this truth. They didn't call it epigenetics. They simply called it the breath of life. The yogis in India, the monks in Tibet, the healers of the Native American lands, they all spoke of the breath as a sacred bridge between the body and the spirit. Now, science is finally catching up. Researchers at Harvard, UCLA, and Yale have discovered that deep, mindful breathing can literally switch off genes that cause inflammation and turn on genes that repair and rejuvenate your body. 15 minutes of conscious breathing each day can begin changing over 2,000 genes linked to energy, immunity, and calmness. Imagine that. Just 15 minutes to remind your body that it is safe, that it remembers how to heal, that life still flows through it, strong, steady, and wise. If you're listening right now, maybe you felt it, that quiet tiredness that doesn't come from the body, but from the soul. You've lived through decades of rushing, fixing, caring for others, and somewhere along the way, you forgot how to breathe for yourself. That's not your fault. We all learn to survive before we learn to be. But here's the miracle. The breath never left you. It's been waiting patiently, ready to lead you home, to your own biology, your own peace, your own life force. So let's try something simple. Take a slow breath in, count to 4, hold it, just for a heartbeat. And now exhale slowly for 6 counts. Do it again. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel that? That's your nervous system rebalancing. That's your genes listening to the music of calm. With every deep breath, you're whispering to your body, I am safe. I am here. I am healing. What if the secret to a longer, healthier life wasn't in a pill or in a lab, but in something as simple as how you breathe? What if your breath was a code, a biological key unlocking the power already inside you? Science calls it epigenetics. But you don't need to remember the term, just remember this. You can change the way your genes express themselves by the way you express your life. The breath is the bridge between your mind and your cells, between your past and your future. And the moment you step onto that bridge, you begin the journey back home, to the quiet intelligence of your own body. When you breathe in, it's not just air that enters your lungs. A biological signal spreads throughout your body. Your cells are listening. Your DNA, the book of life, opens up, and in that moment, you're writing another line in the story of your own existence. Each breath is like a messenger. It carries the language of your mind to every cell. If that message is fear, the body hears an alarm. If that message is peace, the body hears safety. Science calls this epigenetics. It means that while you can't change the genetic sequence you were born with, you can change the way those genes are read. Imagine your DNA as a symphony, endless and beautiful. Each gene is a musical note. But your breath is the conductor. When it's rushed and shallow, the music becomes chaotic. When it's slow and steady, the music flows in harmony, filled with rhythm, warmth, and life. Researchers at Yale and Harvard have found that just 20 minutes of slow, deep breathing a day can turn off genes linked to inflammation, like NFKB, and activate healing genes, such as FOXP3, the ones that help your body regulate and restore itself. No pills, no machines, just breath, the most natural tool life has ever given you. When you breathe fast and shallow, your cortisol, the stress hormone, rises. The gene NR3C1, which controls the stress response, is activated. Your body enters a fight-or-flight state. But when you breathe slowly and deeply, your body receives a message of calm. Stress hormones drop, your immune system balances, and healing genes light up again, like tiny lanterns glowing in the dark. You might have thought that aging makes the body weaker, but science reveals something different. It's your lifestyle and your breathing that shape your biological age. Inside each cell lives a small structure called a telomere, like the plastic cap at the end of a shoelace, protecting the DNA from damage. Each year, under constant stress, these telomeres grow shorter and your cells age faster. But when you slow down and breathe deeply, a gene called TERT, the one that produces the enzyme telomerase, is activated. It helps rebuild those telomeres, keeping your cells younger, stronger, and more resilient. Researchers at the University of California discovered that people who practice mindful breathing regularly have telomeres that are, on average, 10% longer, meaning they're biologically 5 to 7 years younger than those who don't. In other words, every deep breath is a small act of DNA repair. It doesn't just nourish your body, it reawakens the intelligence within it. Your body is a brilliant system. It's always listening, it's always responding. When you breathe fast, it thinks you're in danger. When you breathe slow, it knows you're safe. And when you breathe mindfully, it begins to repair and regenerate itself. Scientists call this the genetic regulation effect of breathing. It means that by breathing deeply, slowly, and rhythmically, you're sending chemical signals to thousands of genes, instructing them to activate your body's natural recovery mode. Picture this. Each inhale is a pulse of energy. It travels from your lungs to your heart and from your heart to every cell. When you inhale, life energy awakens. When you exhale, your body enters a state of healing. With each cycle, breath becomes the rhythm of life, nourishing, restoring, and still. And the beautiful truth is, you can do this right now. Take a deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2 seconds and breathe out slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Between the breaths, pause for a moment of silence. That's where your body resets itself. That's the moment when the stress genes quiet down and the healing genes begin to sing. Can you feel it? The stillness in your mind? The warmth spreading through your chest? That's the language your DNA understands best. You don't have to believe in miracles. Just feel the change. A deeper sleep, a clearer morning, an easier smile. All of it begins with breath. Modern science calls it epigenetic modulation, but your heart calls it something simpler: love in motion. Each breath you take with awareness is an act of kindness toward your cells. Every inhale and exhale in peace tells your body, I'm still here, I still have time, and I can still change. Your body is not against you. It's waiting for you to remember how to speak its language. And breath is the oldest, the most sacred language your body knows. So trust this truth. You are not trapped by your genes. You are the author rewriting your genetic story, one breath, one moment, one gentle choice at a time. And as you inhale again, know that this breath carries new life. And as you exhale, release tension, fear, and limitation. You're not just breathing. You are reprogramming your body. You are teaching your DNA how to sing again in the melody of healing. In the next part of this journey, we'll go even deeper into how breath fuels energy, awakens your cells, and opens the door to longevity, clarity, and inner peace. Take one more slow breath now and whisper to your body, I am rewriting my story, one breath at a time. Inside every cell of your body, there's a tiny world pulsing with life, a small factory working tirelessly, creating the energy that allows you to see, to feel, to love, and to live. That factory is called the mitochondrion, the powerhouse of life. It doesn't just produce energy, it determines how you feel, vibrant or exhausted, young or aging, alive or drained. Mitochondria need fuel, and their most vital fuel isn't food, it's breath. When you breathe deeply, oxygen enters your lungs, then travels through your blood to every cell. There, the mitochondria receive that oxygen like sunlight entering a dark room. They begin producing energy, tiny sparks called ATP, the electrical current that powers every process of life. Without ATP, there is no movement, no thought, no life. But when your breathing is shallow and rushed, oxygen doesn't reach deep enough. The mitochondria become stressed. Instead of clean energy, they produce free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells. Slowly, fatigue sets in. The body feels heavy, and the natural glow of vitality begins to fade. Yet when you breathe slowly and deeply, something remarkable happens. Your mitochondria recharge. Your body enters a state of energy balance, bright yet calm. Scientists at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden found that people who practice breathing at a steady rhythm of 6 breaths per minute for just 4 weeks showed higher activation of genes that control mitochondrial function, genes that boost energy production, reduce oxidative stress, and slow down cellular aging. In other words, each deep breath you take is like recharging the biological battery inside you. You don't need caffeine. You don't need supplements. You just need breath, the quiet, faithful companion that has been with you since the very beginning. When you inhale deeply, imagine energy pouring into every cell like sunlight streaming through a window at dawn. And when you exhale, let go of tension, fatigue, and worry, as if releasing smoke from the body. That's not imagination, that's biology. That's the living connection between breath and energy. Your mitochondria don't just create power, they communicate with your DNA. They send signals to the cell's nucleus, telling your genes to adapt, to repair, and to rejuvenate. When you breathe slowly, genes like PGC1 alpha, NRF1, and TFAM become active. They create new mitochondria, enhance endurance, and keep your body youthful and clear. Breath is the translator between the intelligence of your mind and the strength of your cells. Have you noticed? Whenever you breathe deeply and exhale softly, your mind feels clearer, your body lighter. That's energy being distributed evenly, your body leaving survival mode and returning to balance. When you breathe fast, your body fights to survive. When you breathe slow, your body begins to truly live. People who breathe deeply and regularly often have stronger hearts, sharper minds, and greater resilience through hardship. Not because they are tougher, but because they are in rhythm with the natural energy that sustains life. Breath is the bridge between matter and spirit. It shapes both electricity and emotion. When you exhale slowly, your heartbeat and brain waves fall into harmony. Scientists call this biological coherence, a state where the heart, the brain, and the genes speak the same language. And within that language, there is only one message: I am safe. I am alive. I am ready to heal. You don't have to be a monk or a scientist. You just have to be present. Just breathe. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale for 6. Pause for 2. In that quiet pause, your DNA, your heart, and your mitochondria are listening to each other. They are adjusting, realigning, and returning to the perfect rhythm you were born with. If you do this every day, just 10 minutes, you'll start to notice something subtle but profound. Your body feels lighter. Your sleep deepens. Your mind becomes bright and steady. That isn't magic. That's biology singing its harmony. Breath doesn't just keep you alive. It reminds your body how to live in harmony. So when you feel tired, when your energy runs low, don't rush outward searching for answers. Come back to your breath, because right there is where true energy begins. Take a deep breath in and light up every cell within you. Breathe out and release what no longer serves you. You're not just breathing, you are awakening. You are restarting the ancient current of energy that has powered life since the beginning of time. In the next part of this journey, we'll go to the deepest layer, where breath, genes, and consciousness unite, where life is no longer just biology, but a state of awareness. If you look deeply into a single cell, you won't just see matter, you'll see light, rhythm, and intelligence moving in silence. Inside each cell, your DNA coils and hums like a living wave, vibrating at its own unique frequency, like a string on a cosmic instrument, singing the music of life itself. And your breath, the simplest rhythm you have, is the conductor of this entire symphony. When you inhale, billions of cells open to receive energy. When you exhale, they release tension and waste. And in that still moment between breaths, your cells enter perfect harmony, a space where mind, energy, and matter become one. Scientists call it cellular coherence, but those who have felt it simply call it meditation. The stillness within every cell. Breath is the bridge between consciousness and biology. We often think of the mind as invisible and the body as tangible, but breath is the thread that connects the two worlds. Every thought you create, positive or negative, carries an electrical wave. Every breath you take, deep or shallow, transmits a chemical message to your body. When these two align, your DNA receives the signal of safety and healing genes begin to awaken. Science calls this the epigenetics of consciousness. Studies from the Chopra Institute and Harvard have shown that when people practice mindful breathing combined with compassion and gratitude, stress-related genes like NR3C1 and FKBP5 quiet down, while longevity genes like TERT become more active. It means this: when you change your emotions, you change your biology. When you live in gratitude, you are literally rewriting your genetic code. Your body is not a machine. It is a living memory, a field of intelligence and feeling. Your cells remember every vibration of fear, of love, of peace. When you speak kind words, your cells feel their softness. When you practice gratitude, they sense the wave of oxytocin, a biological signal that opens communication between mind and body. Researchers at the HeartMath Institute discovered that the human heart contains over 40,000 neurons, cells that can sense emotion and send signals back to the brain. When you breathe slowly and feel love, your heart and brain fall into harmony. Your body enters deep coherence, where stress genes fall silent and happiness genes begin to sing. True intelligence doesn't live only in the brain. It shines within every cell that listens to your breath. When you pause, when you become present, when you breathe as if speaking to life itself, the body understands, and it responds. With peace, with health, with quiet light from within. The slower you breathe, the more you realize you're not separate. Your body is not isolated. You are part of a vast web of energy that connects all things. Each time you inhale, you breathe in the same air that once nourished the trees, the ocean, and the stars. Each time you exhale, you return that energy to the universe. Breath is the heartbeat of everything. The DNA inside your body contains atoms once forged in the heart of a distant star. And when you breathe with awareness, you return to the rhythm of the cosmos, where there is no boundary between you and all. Sit quietly. Place your hand over your heart, close your eyes, and breathe as if whispering to every cell within you. Inhale for 5 seconds, and silently say, "I open myself to the energy of life." Hold for 3, and feel each cell smile back at you. Exhale for 7 seconds, and whisper, "I release tension. I send love to my cells." Pause for 2, and feel your body glowing softly from within. Do this every day, just 10 minutes, and one day you will realize something simple yet profound. Your body is not just flesh and bone. It is light. It is awareness. You no longer need to chase peace outside yourself because it has been within you all along, hidden in your breath. When you breathe, you open a dialogue between consciousness and your genes. When you breathe, you teach your cells how to love, how to trust, how to heal. You are the conductor of this biological symphony, and every breath you take is a note of healing. Breathe in deeply to know that you are alive. Breathe out slowly to know that you're free. In this breath, there is nothing to become because you already are. You are whole. You are complete. You are life, breathing itself. An ancient intelligence lives in every cell you have. It doesn't speak in words, but in light, vibration, and rhythm. When you truly listen, you will see. There is no boundary between genes and soul, between cells and the universe. It is all one continuous stream of consciousness, breathing through you. Every cell is a small universe. Every breath is a sacred prayer. You don't need to seek enlightenment. It's already here, in the breath you just took. Live as a thank you to every cell inside you because they are you and you are life, breathing itself. Take a slow breath in, and as you exhale, feel yourself soften. For a few moments, you've allowed the world to slow down. And in that stillness, your body has remembered what peace feels like. Every breath you take is a message to your cells, a promise that you are still here, still healing, still alive. No matter your age, no matter your story, it's never too late to start again. With one gentle breath. Let this moment remind you, you're not broken, you're not behind. You are life breathing itself, wise, strong, eternal. Thank you for being here, for breathing, for choosing yourself. If this journey brought you calm or comfort, breathe it forward. Share it with someone you love. And until next time, keep breathing with awareness, because every mindful breath is a step back home, to the most peaceful place there is, yourself.